Welcome back to our lesson 10. Yeah, our last lesson is about MS Access. And so far we have completed the 7 packages that we're supposed to complete. And we can say so far so good. We have done amazingly well and it has been an amazing class so far. So we need to first understand what is all about MS Access. So the learner by the end of the lesson will be able to understand and define what is MS Access. The learner will be able to understand how it's applied in our day-to-day life, and the learner will be able to understand how to create an MS Access database for the organization or even for themselves. So first we start with definition of MS Access, and MS Access is a database management tool that enables one to have a good command data collected. The program enables one to retrieve, sort, summarize, and report results speedily and effectively. It can combine data from various fields through creating relationships and can make even data entry more efficient and accurate. So one thing we need to note is that MS Access gets all important information from a single database file. So we look at the usage of Access in our day-to-day operation or in real life. So the first thing we need to know is that Microsoft Access is an information management tool used to information for reference, reporting, and analysis. It also helps you to analyze large amount of information and manage related data more efficiently. And most people prefer to use Microsoft Access to Microsoft Excel or another spreadsheet because it's easily manageable and it's able to manage large amount of information. Now, how is it applied in our day-to-day life? Microsoft Access is used in inventory management system in organizations. So majority of organizations prefer to use Microsoft Access. It's used in CRM, in our customer care departments. It's also used in SMS system, because you understand that many times organizations need to send SMSs to many people. So those records are usually in their MS Access. In organizations like medical field, they use it to record patient details. It's also used in organization for invoice generation. It's used to provide management for providers management for the HR processes and project management. So those are the uses in our day-to-day operation, and there are many more that we have not discussed. So when you are free, you can go and research on them and find out more on how you can use MS Access. Now we need to see how you can create a file within the database management system. The first thing we need to understand is that we use tables, and tables are used to store data in Microsoft Access. Number 2, we have queries. So when you want to search for any information that you have already keyed in your database, you need to search, you find, and retrieve that specific data by asking a query. From there, we also have forms that help us to view, add, and update data in tables. We also have reports to analyze or print data in a specific layout. And then we have data access pages to view or update the data. So something that we need to note is that in MS Access, data is stored once in one table, but you can be able to view it from any location or from multiple locations. So the next thing we need to know is how to establish MS Access. So establishing of MS Access, one thing we need to know is that all MS Access database files are usually saved with extensions. A database should have a separate table for every major subject, which is called a pedigree records. And then production data or treatment information. And lastly, data should not be duplicated in multiple tables. So you're supposed to only save the information once. So methods that you can use to create a database, we have 3 of them. The first one is database wizard. The next one we have is using a template, and then lastly we have creating a database directly. So now I want to show you a very simple way you can create a database. So for those who have been able to follow the class since we started, we have learned how to open up, how to create a Microsoft Word, how to create Microsoft PowerPoint, how to create Excel. Now we are looking at how you're going to create a database. So first of all, you must have MS Access in your computer. You need to install it in your computer. So from there, after you've installed it, you go to the File tab. It's usually at your left side. Then you choose New. Then you click an icon which says maybe a blank database or any database template that you want. Click in the file name text box and type a descriptive name for your database. Then click the create button to create your database file. This is how you create a database from your end. So you can follow it and do that experiment. It's a very simple one, and you can be able to manage and to know it. Now let's create in our database management through MS Access. So we say tables are used to store information in MS Access. They have the contains rows which are usually called records and columns that are usually called fields. So a record is a collection of facts about a particular animal or event. So this particular animal can be human beings or can be goats, can be cows, depending, but it collects those facts. Yeah, so all events that are supposed to be recorded in a table, and they are usually unique. So any record that you're supposed to record in that table should be unique. Then to distinguish one record from another, tables contain a primary key which is called a field. A field is a single kind of fact that may apply to each animal or event. So for example, we are saying about date of birth, which is filled in a table. So you can fill date of birth, you can fill any information that you want, but the information should be unique. The fields in a database have settings that determine, one, the type of data that you can store. So you cannot just store any other data, but those fields assist you to show you what type of data you can store there. And then they also show you how the data is going to be displayed and what can be done. Yeah, that's the role of the fields, yeah, in the database. Now let's see how to create tables. So tables can be created in three ways. One, you can use the table wizard. Number two, you use the design view, or you use the entering data in a spreadsheet. Spreadsheet, we learned about it in MS Excel, and I know we already understand it. Now, let's create a table using design view. So to create a table using design view, creation of a table by design view is a user customized way of making data storage tables. Each field in the design view of a table corresponds to a column in the datasheet view of a table. So it involves entering unique names of the columns of the table in the field name. We've already talked about the field, then column of the design view. And then names of field and object in Microsoft Access can be up to 64 characters long. They can include any combination of letters, numbers, spaces, and special characters. So the only things you cannot use there, we cannot use full stops, you cannot use exclamations, you cannot use accent grave, and you cannot use brackets. They also can't begin with leading spaces. You cannot begin with a space. So now let's create a data entry form. So a form is a type of database object that is primarily used to enter or display data in a database. Most forms are bound to one or more tables and queries in the database. A form's record source refers to the fields in the underlying tables and queries. That's how you create data entry forms. So we look at the features of a form. The form focuses on one record at a time. They can display fields from more than one table. They can also display pictures in other objects. And lastly, they can contain a button that prints, opens, other object or others automate task. So those are the features that we have for a form. Now we create a form using a wizard. So to create a form using a wizard, you need to click on the Forms tab, double click on the Create Form by using a wizard, and then this will lead you through a step-by-step series on how you finish creating the form. So creating the form using a wizard is usually the easiest way because it shows you step by step how you can create the form. Now, the next thing we look at is the queries. We talked about the queries. The queries helps you to search for that type of data, specific data that you're looking for in MS Access. So sometimes we have search buttons when you want to search something. Maybe in MS window, we have find. We have in MS Excel, we have find also. So it helps you to search that kind of information, the specific kind of information that you need. Because if you try to look at the item that you're looking for at random, it may take you a long time to get it. So a query is a derived item in the database meant to answer specific questions that relate to the information that is already in the database. Queries are handy during data processing. So to find and retrieve just the data that meets conditions that you specify, including data from the multiple tables, you need to create a query. A query can also be used to update or delete multiple records at the same time and perform predefined or custom calculation on your data. So let's see the types of queries that we exist in database management. So we have one, select queries. They are used for extracting specific information from a large multi-information table. They can also be helpful in merging related information from different tables. Number two, they make table queries, used for making subtables from the main tables in queries. And then number three, we have update queries, important in adding information in the fields of a table. We have append queries, which are used to copy records from one table query to another. We also have delete query, which is used to permanently remove unwanted content from the table. So delete query should not be used unless one surely need to delete the information from the database system. The next thing we look at is the relational database. A relational database is one whose components that it consists tables, forms, and queries are related or they are interlinked. So the linkage between database components are created by making relationship links between them. Yeah. So this relationship link between them include having one component and another one-to-one relationship, one component related to several others, which is one to many, and several database components, many to many. Yeah, so that's a relational component. So how do you create a relationship between database components? It's very simple. So when you create a relationship between tables, the related fields don't necessarily have to have the same name. They don't have to have the same name. However, related fields must have the same data type. So unless the primary key field is an auto number field. So an auto number field can be matched with a number field only if the field size property of both of the matching field is the same. Yeah. So that's when an auto number field can match with the number field if the field size property of both of the matching field is the same. So defining a one-to-many or a one-to-one relationship. What you usually do, you close any tables you have opened. You can't create unmodified relationship between open tables. That's the first thing you need to know. Number two, you press F11. F11, we already did something about the keyboard and we understand what is F11. So to switch to the database window, it helps you to switch the database window. And then click relationship on the toolbar. If you haven't yet defined a relationship in your database, the show table dialog box is automatically displayed. So that's how you define a one-to-many or one-to-one relationship. Then we have not finished you double click the names of the tables you want to relate and then close the show table dialog box. You create a relationship between a table and itself, add table twice. Then drag the field that you want to relate from one table to the related field in the other. You edit relationships dialog box as displayed, then check the field names displayed in the two columns to ensure they are correct. You can change if you feel it's necessary and set the relationship option if necessary. Then click to create button to create the relationship and repeat steps 5 through 8 for each pair of tables that you want to relate. Now we look at the reports. Reports provide a means of organizing and summarizing data. Reports are often used to present an overview, highlighting the main points and threads. A report can be a simple list, a status report, or a monthly production. So, how can you prepare a report? So, with reports, one can prepare many things. You can prepare a mailing labels for various producer.